What's going on, guys? It's Mitch back with more free agency news and analysis. It's the bottom line view. First of all, please ask you to like the video and subscribe if you're new. All right, so let's get into it. The big news today, not as much news as yesterday, not even close. Yesterday was ridiculous. And if you haven't seen that video already, I posted it yesterday. It's just me talking in audio, but check it out in the description below. Sean Smith is a Raider. 4 years, $40 million. This was probably the biggest signing today. Sean Smith going to the Raiders. What do I think? Well, I think Sean Smith is going to be a solid addition for the Raiders. They struggled in pass defense last year. They needed a number one corner. They got a number one corner, so thumbs up. I think this is like an A signing for the Raiders. He's a physical corner. He's lengthy. He can cover tall receivers. And I think that this is a great signing for the Raiders overall, and they continue to pound the list of needs with more and more players in free agency. So I got to give another thumbs up to the Raiders for this signing with Sean Smith. Mitchell Schwartz is a Chief. 5 years, $33 million. Coming from the Browns, pretty good right tackle. This has been a weakness on their team for a while, and this is why they continue to use that short passing game, because really they haven't had tackles for years to let Alex Smith drop back and wait and pass the ball down the field. As much as Alex Smith thrives with the short passing game, now a guy like Schwartz at right tackle allows the Chiefs to open up the playbook a little bit and throw the ball a little bit more down the field. So I think this is a good signing for the Chiefs. He's also a good run blocker, which the Chiefs like to do, and they'll get Jamal Charles back. This is a good signing for the Chiefs overall. The Jets land 2 running backs, Matt Forte, 3 years, $12 million, which I think is really cheap for Matt Forte. The guy is one of my favorite players in the NFL. You know, he's a good leader, smart guy, a guy that's been there, but he's also a producer. I believe he's the number one in scrimmage yards since 2008. Doesn't mean that he's the best running back since that time, but Matt Forte has definitely produced amongst the best in the league, especially receiving the ball. He's one of the best I've seen maybe ever at running routes. He can run routes like a receiver out of the backfield. He can line up at a receiver position. He can line up in the slot. You know, he can run the ball with the best of them. And Matt Forte is a very versatile, really good player that I think will help the Jets a lot. It will be interesting to see how they complement that with a guy like Khiry Robinson, who they signed also. He's more of a power back, and I think he'll be in there to spare Forte. Forte's getting up there in age, and it's only a 3-year deal for Forte. So Khiry Robinson, I think that's another good signing. You know, if you're late in the game, you need to pound the rock, or if you need short yards, Robinson's a good bet. And he had a pretty good year last year with the Saints. So I think that these are both good signings for the Jets. Alex Mack, 5 years, $45 million as a Falcon. Now, I think this might be a little bit too much money from the Falcon side, as they did also with Mohamed Sanu, which is 5 years, $32.5 million. And guys just continue to overpay for wide receivers. But back to Mack for a second. Mack, 5 years, $45 million. That's a lot for a center. I know I might be undervaluing the center position, but I feel like you can get away with a weaker center when you have good guards and good tackles. I know the Falcons don't exactly have the greatest offensive line, and Alex Mack was known as maybe the best center in the league at one time. Maybe still is. We don't know. Maybe in a better offense, he might still be that. But 5 years, $45 million with a guy that's, you know, getting up there in age almost. So it's a little bit, it's not really a risk because he's a center, but it's just money that you could use elsewhere, in my opinion, if you're the Falcons. But I still think that this will help the team. Don't get me wrong. I just think that might be a little bit too much money for Alex Mack. And Mohamed Sanu. Okay, this guy was a number 3 receiver, a number 4 target. All right. And this guy's making more money than like number of receivers. So I feel like that might be a little bit overvaluing Mohamed Sanu. I know that a lot of receivers have been overvalued in this free agency because there are not a lot of great ones. Like Marvin Jones got an equally ridiculous contract, probably even more ridiculous. What I do like about Sanu, though, I think he's a good receiver. I don't think he's a great game-changing receiver. I think he'll complement Julio Jones quite well. He's versatile. He can line up outside or in the slot. He can even throw the ball. He's very athletic. He could probably return kicks, so Sanu is a good player. I don't think he's going to game break the Falcons to winning the division, but he's a good player. All right, so here are some re-signings. Vincent Ray for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's been the leading tackler for the last 2 seasons. He got a 3-year, $11.5 million deal. I think he's solid. He's a solid middle linebacker. He's nothing special. But, again, Bengals keep another solid veteran in there on their defense. Good tackler. Not a huge playmaker, but he's a solid player in the middle of the D. Tahir Whitehead for the Detroit Lions. This guy is good in coverage. He's also a athletic special teamser, and he rotates a lot in the Lions linebacking core. He did play really well when DeAndre Levy went down. He had 36 tackles, 11 assists, and 2 sacks last year, with 1 interception and 1 fumble recovery. So he has had some time under his belt. And I think that the Lions, given their history with injuries, I think that this is a good re-signing. And he's only 25 years old, so he has a higher ceiling than a lot of players. And they can build around that. So that being said, 2 years, $8 million, that's pretty good for a rotation linebacker who has a lot of upside. Frank Zombo. The guy is pretty much a rotation linebacker, but mostly a really good special teams player. So this was a good signing for Kansas City. Keep their special teams intact. A guy that's a leader on that unit. And 3 years, $3.6 million. That's pretty good for a top special teams player. Bilal Powell. Now, this is a big one. Okay, so Bilal Powell got re-signed with New York. It's an interesting decision for him more than anything, because they signed Forte, who might take away some of his touches, and they also signed Khiry Robinson, who we talked about. Now, Powell, I really like this guy. He's a third down back. He can be effective between the tackles, but I really like him on third downs, where he showed to me some explosiveness. He's a shorter guy with some stocky legs, and he's really quick. I like Powell a lot, and I think that, sure, he might not get as many touches as last year. I think it's more of an interesting decision for him than it is the team, because I think he's still a good player, but I think it's interesting overall. And the last one, Jermaine Kearse. He's big, he's quick, and he's been reasonably productive for Seattle. He actually played quite well last year, I should say. He had a few big games, and I think that Russell Wilson likes this guy, and I think that had a lot to do with him coming back. So Jermaine Kearse, solid receiver, a lot like Mohamed Sanu, but Kearse mostly plays on the outside. So Kearse, he's a solid receiver, not a game breaker, and a guy that knows Seattle. He knows how it goes. He knows the team. And I think that's a solid re-signing. You know what you're going to get. And I think he's still getting better as a receiver. So this has been your free agency news and analysis. It's Mitch from the Bottom Line View. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. And if you're new, subscribe. Peace out.